You to also offer a deep bow. I am Bhante Varrapanyo. I am an American Buddhist monk. And this morning I thought it would be nice to invite the community, to invite everyone who is natural to come across this, to step into a place of coming home. Finding the breath, finding the body, finding the heart that's beating, and establishing yourself, ourselves, these bodies and minds that happen to be here in the present moment. So for those who don't know, I've been a monk for the past years, and I've been a meditator and a Buddhist for the past 10 years. And a really beautiful and major part of my practice as a monk is to emphasize doing good deeds with mindfulness and detachment, doing all kinds of good deeds more and more, as much as I can, and doing more than I can, if at all possible. So during this period of time, I think I'll share some readings from this book, Instant Zen, which is a personal favorite of mine. And I will especially keep the space open for people to ask questions, to share their experiences. Maybe someone has a teaching or a text, a poem that they would like to share with the community to inspire the others. And so all of this is open. And hopefully everyone can hear me clearly. Maybe you can let me know in the comments if you can hear me clearly and easily. Yeah, can everybody hear me? So we don't need to ask a question. Getting into Buddhism or self-improvement or self-healing, we don't even need to do anything in particular. I like to see it more as starting to allow. Right? Allow, give the heart more permission to beat. Give the lungs more permission, more space to breathe. Give the eyes more space to see. This is an interesting poem to start our meditation mind, our meditation way. To learn the way, to learn like the ultimate path, the way to end suffering, the way of freedom, the way of reality. To learn the way, first you must find out the ultimate point. So like what is most essential, what is most important, what is most alive right here and right now? What is the ultimate point of life? What is most important, right? Hearing sound and seeing form are inconceivable. Hearing sound and seeing form are inconceivable. So that this experience of hearing, this experience of seeing is uncomprehendable by the intellectual mind. And it's there, again and again and again, moment by moment. This depth of direct experience that is inconceivable, ungraspable. Right? You can't get a hold of it, and yet it's just constantly there. Hearing sound and seeing form are inconceivable. Meaning it's like, it's so alive, it's so direct, it's so continuous, it's so more full, more wide than our thoughts and our stories and our preferences that we hold on to. Just seeing, just hearing. If you discuss high and low based on words, it is just like before you were enlightened. So don't get trapped in the higher or the lower. Don't get trapped in the better or worse, right? Find your way in the inconceivable. Find your way in not knowing, not understanding, not grasping, that there's a way there, there's a path there, there is a freedom there. Okay, do we have a question from someone? So Tom is asking, how did I start being a monk? You could maybe be a little bit more specific what you want to know about or what you're asking about when you say that. But I mainly started on my path to monk life because I had a very deep experience of suffering and like being lost in life. And then I found meditation and Buddhist philosophy as a way to deal with that suffering. Right? And it was very effective. And then later on, as I became more successful in my material life, like a job and a relationship and all that, I realized that it wasn't the most fulfilling thing for me. It wasn't going to give me real freedom. And I had the memory or the direct experience with Buddhism and meditation. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go and become a monk. I had some trust, I had some faith in that way of living. And 5 years later, here I am, still on that path because I find it to be very fulfilling, a wonderful way to live, to benefit myself and also to help the others. Arda, do you want to ask a question?
You know how there's a general advice of people telling you shouldn't compare yourself with the others and you should only compete with your like yesterday self. Well, I always find myself comparing myself with the others and like do you have advice on how can I stop doing it?
How can we stop comparing ourselves with the others? Yeah, so
Exactly.
we look more closely at our self. We all have this image of ourselves as a particular kind of person that confronts or has to deal with a particular kind of world. And yesterday was a certain way, and tomorrow will be a certain way. We have this expectation, this idea in our mind, right? This character of ourselves. When we learn how to stop not striving for any kind of progress or success or profit, right? But when we start to learn how to stop, to sit, to lay, to just be, to rest, that gives us the space to look more directly, more closely at our true self, right? And what is
Mhm.
your true
Mhm.
self? Well, we have to look, right? We have to find out about it. And the more that we give ourselves this time and space for a kind of active rest, right? Where there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do, but we're there, we're participating in our rest. Right? We're not eating, we're not sleeping, we're not consuming
Mhm.
anything, and we're just looking. We're resting with the breathing. We're resting with the body, and we're having a very intimate experience of the self, finding out what that is. When we go through that, when we practice with that, it's certainly not that we won't compare ourselves with others anymore, because that does happen, but we'll have a much more clear way of looking at ourselves that isn't about the idea of ourself. And so naturally, we won't be so reliant on the ideas about others' selves either, right? And so it's all about coming home to that intimacy with your direct experience, with your heart, body, mind, rather than just this story of success that you're trying to live up to or get to. And the other side of it, which is applies to everyone, is don't set up ultimate goals, right? Like, I need to not compare myself with others anymore. It's something that happens. We do tend to compare ourselves with others, and that's okay. We don't need to take it too seriously. We don't need to lose ourselves in that habit energy that happens, right? It's a little bit normal. It's a little
Mhm.
bit natural that this kind of thing happens, and be patient with yourself and do your best.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome, brother. Let's move you back down to the audience. So we have another question. We're actually live on quite a few different platforms right now. We're live here in the Hamza Discord server, defunct kind of Discord server. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So we have a question here from Lisa Gores Kurtz on Facebook. Lisa says, "What steps did you have to go through to become ordained as a monk? As an ordained Nakma, I have interest in how monastics from other lineage schools become ordained." So I don't know much about Tibetan Buddhism, but in the traditional Mahayana and Theravada Buddhism, there are two kinds of ordination. One is a novice ordination, and traditionally that's for people who are younger than 20 who can't become fully ordained. And then there is a bhikshu and bhikshuni ordination. And this is as far as we know, this is the original way of ordination going back to the time of the Buddha, a bhikkhu and a bhikkhuni, a bhikshu and a bhikshuni. And one of the fundamental rules and responsibilities for someone who is ordained as a monk, right? We can say like an actual monk, is celibacy. So that means that we do not have a husband, we do not have a wife. In most cases, it means we don't have a job. We're not business people, and it means that we are full time wearing the robe of a monk. We don't put on jeans and go to the grocery store. We are. This is our full time, full spectrum, 365, 24/7 life of being a monk. So to ordain as a monk, to join that community, the most important element is that you're really serious about taking on this commitment. Um, if you are serious about ordaining and becoming a monk, then there there should be an accessible path to move forward. The Buddha was all about accessibility in terms of how he accepted people to ordain and become monks and nuns. But the prerequisite is, especially for Western people, that you are a Buddhist and a meditator. So if you've ever thought about becoming a monk, well, firstly, you need to make sure you need to become, in some circumstances, a Buddhist and a meditator first. And that usually means that you attend some intensive meditation retreats under the scope of Buddhism. It means that you develop relationships with Buddhist monks and long term practitioners. It means like you learn what Buddhism is. From that point, you connect with the Sangha. You connect with the community of ordained monks or nuns, right? Male or female monks. And from that connection point, if you are seen to be a good candidate, if you are seen to be sincere in your wish to ordain, then they will bring you in through that process to go through the ceremony that makes you to be a monk under monastic law. So you're looking at a 1 to 3 year process for sure. Some places it may be able to happen sooner. Some places it may take quite a bit longer. All right, looks like we have another question here from Sparrow. So I'm going to bring you up, Sparrow. I'm okay. What's your question?
No, brother. So my question is, it's really simple, How do I get to be in the moment? Just forget about everything and focus on what I'm doing.
Great. How to get to be in the moment. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. We can get into the moment by doing actions of generosity. We can get into the moment by doing good deeds. We can get into the moment by listening to a meditation song, maybe some kind of chanting, right? Meditation kind of chanting. We can get into the moment by walking and breathing and being aware of our body as we go step by step. This is a very realistic way to get in the moment, but we have to understand that this is maybe a muscle that we have not exercised very much. We may have not exercised our being in the moment muscle, and that means that you'll have to apply a lot of sincerity and a lot of willingness to develop that ability to come back to the present moment, which happens just like that, right? You find your breath, you breathe in, you just breathe in, and then you get distracted or you get lost and you come back to that breathing in. So if we take that practice and we apply it to going for a walk in nature, or we apply it to listening to a guided meditation, whatever we can get our hands on, really, then we're going to develop that capacity, develop that relationship with being in the present moment, right? Being in the present. And it's also something that happens naturally without any particular effort. The breathing and the knowing go together. And be willing to give up that thought, that idea, that story, right? That notion that gets stuck in your mind. Just come back to the breathing. Okay, Sparrow? Okay, you're welcome. Yeah. And even though it can seem a little bit almost cheap, it can seem, well, it's free, but if we can prioritize it, if we can make it something that we really come back to again and again and again, it will fundamentally shift our perspective about life, about reality, about how we relate to ourselves and the world. Just by starting to value this action of mindfulness, this action of present moment breathing awareness. Okay, Catherine shares avoiding past and future thought and focusing on the body, which is tethered to the present. That's great. The most important practice that anyone can incorporate and bring into their lives immediately is to start prioritizing to do good deeds, period. No debate, no discussion, no thinking about it, no wondering about it. Start to prioritize doing good deeds, being good, doing good. What is good? Doing actions of generosity. Doing actions of generosity. And one of the recommendations that I can give for everyone is actually an app to put on your phone. And it's called the Plum Village app. Plum Village app. Hello, Abi. Well, at this moment, I feel quite well. I feel quite fine. Now, I am in California at this time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's really helpful for people to have some kind of a structure for just a place to show up and a time to show up to practice, you know. Um, Hello, Aria and Alicia, James. We have a question from Randy on YouTube. Randy says, what is a good or faster way to come back to your breathing when you get distracted? Just come back. Just come back. Don't worry about the best way to meditate or, um, certainly we do want to practice in the right way rather than the wrong way, but coming back to your breathing, coming back to the feeling of the breath as it enters in through the nose, coming back to the feeling of the breath as it goes down this kind of head, neck, chest area, fills the lungs, and really experience that, really feel that. Welcome, Kobe and Gloria, Alicia. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Hey there, Eddie. So some people starting to join in. This is nice. And I think I'll share a reading from this book here, Instant Zen. Instant Zen. This writing is entitled Keep Evolving. If you have just now understood, where is that which you couldn't understand before? Can we understand now? Right? Can we enter into that place of like, I've got it. I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm not avoiding anything. I'm not planning anything. I'm not going to go anywhere. I don't need to go and do anything to understand. I don't need someone to come and help me to understand. But I mean, can we enter into it like that? Can we be at that place? If you have just now understood, if you've just now seen through the veil, seen through the fog, where is that which you could not understand before? If you have just now attained freedom or become free, where is that which you were not free of before? Where is that? If you can't understand now, or if you can't be free now, when will you understand? If you cannot be free now, when will you be free? Just examine over and over in this way, and you should come to understand. That is why it is said, what you misunderstood before is what you now understand. What you now understand is what you misunderstood before. That's beautiful, isn't it? We couldn't miss the point. Right? It's like the inescapability of the present moment, something I've been working with recently. It's like, oh, what provokes fear in me? What provokes worry in me? What provokes distress in me? Well, that there's a situation that I couldn't be free of or from, right? Something that I couldn't escape from. But we cannot escape from the truth. And where is the truth? It's right in this present moment experiencing. It's right in this present moment breathing. No escape. That is why it is said, what you misunderstood before is what you now understand. What you now understand is what you misunderstood before. It is also said, when light comes, darkness vanishes. When knowledge comes into play, confusion is forgotten. But can it actually be so? How can it be so? that would mean there is darkness to be destroyed and there is confusion to be removed. Have you not read the ancient saying, "Don't change the former person, just change the former behavior"? Your true self has always been your true self. Your Buddha mind, your innocence mind, your heart life has always been your heart life. You don't need to change this person. Don't change the former person. Just change the former behavior. Some of you Zen followers say, "What is the difficulty? Misunderstanding is just this person, and understanding is just this person. There can be no other." But when asked what this person is, you are helpless, or else you talk at random. This is because of not having attained true, accurate realization. This is a disease that has entered your bones and marrow. So many followers of Zen, or many people who identify with the ultimate, maybe they talk a big game, but if they're really pressed about it, if they're really asked about it, they don't have anything to say. This disease of a Zen idea, of a Zen attachment, of a Zen person has gotten down into their bones, a sickness into their bones. People in error attach recognition to a lifetime of cessation. Indeed, they stop not only for one lifetime, but for 1,000 lifetimes, myriad lifetimes. As for the spiritually sharp, they should know how to experientially investigate who this person is, directly seeking an insight. So that this matter of Zen is not about making any claims or having any special experiences, but knowing how to experientially investigate who this person is. Knowing how to experientially investigate what is this. An investigation so deep, so authentic, so wholehearted that the entire world is secondary to that investigation. Birth and death is secondary to that investigation. That's where we get our freedom, regardless of person, place, situation, period of time, hot or cold, poverty or wealth, gain or loss. Woo! Buddhism today is lackluster. Even in large groups, it's hard to find suitable people. As long as you people are here studying the path in this school, you should not waste the 24 hours of the day. Focus on attaining insight. You people are still not far off. Have you not read how Master Linji said, "There is a true person of no rank in the naked mass of flesh, always going out and coming in the doors of your senses. Those who haven't witnessed it, look." At that time, a student came forward and asked, What is the true person of no rank? Linji got out of his chair, grabbed the student, and said, "Speak, speak." The student hesitated, trying to think of something, so Linji pushed him away. Linji also said, "Your eyes radiate a light that shines through the mountains and rivers." The ancients were so compassionate, yet people today don't take it to heart, so they need to look for someone to find certainty. There is a true person of no rank in the naked mass of flesh. There is a true person of no better or worse. There is a true person of no self or other. There is a true person of no particular place, situation, experience, environment, story. There is a true person of true nature, of true freedom, right here in this mass of flesh, always going out and coming in the doors of your senses. Those who haven't witnessed it, look at this person of no past and no future. Look at this person with no status, high or low. Look. A student came forward and asked, "What is the true person of no rank?" Zen Master Linji got out of his chair, grabbed the student, and said, "Speak, speak." The student hesitated, trying to think of something, so Linji pushed him away. He didn't quite get it. Linji also said, "Your eyes radiate a light that shines through the mountains and rivers." The ancients were so compassionate, these ancient Zen masters or worthy ones who had experienced success in freedom, in moment by moment freedom life. They were so compassionate, but people today don't take it to heart. So we don't really recognize those ancients. Have you not read how Zen masters Yantou, Zhu Fang, and Jin Shan went to see Linji, then met Elder Ding on the way? Yantou asked, "Where are you coming from?" Ding said, "From Linji." Yantou inquired, "Is the teacher well?" Ding said, "The teacher has passed away." Yantou said, "We came especially to pay respects to the teacher Linji. But now we hear he has passed away, and we do not know what he said. Please quote an example or two of his sayings." Ding then cited the foregoing story about Linji's saying, "There is a true person of no rank in the mass of naked flesh, always going out and coming in through the doors of your senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Those who have not yet witnessed it, those who have not yet seen, experienced this person of no rank, look, look." When a student came forward and asked what the true person of no rank is, Linji got out of his chair, grabbed the student, and said, "Speak, speak." When the student hesitated, trying to think of something, Linji pushed him away and said, "What a dry turd the true person of no rank is." Then Linji went back to his quarters. Hearing this recital, Yantou was stunned. Jinshan remarked, "Why didn't he say, 'In the mass of naked flesh is not a true person of no rank'?" Ding grabbed him and said, "Tell me, How far apart are a true person of no rank and not a true person of no rank? Speak quickly. Jinshan's face paled, then clouded. Yanto and Zhu Fang both said, "Please forgive this novice for insulting you, elder." Ding remarked, "If it hadn't been for you two old guys, I'd have punched this little bedwetter out." These ancient Chinese Zen masters get into some strange territory. Look, when Jinshan said, "Not a true person of no rank," why did Ding not agree? How can students today reach such a state? They just recognize the mortal body and forcibly act as if they were in charge, unable to let go of it. Now I will cite some stories for you to consider. So, letting go of this body, letting go of the story of this body. And then what? What is it? When all of the information, all of the contact that's coming through these sense doors, right? The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, when it is no longer a matter of a real true person in a real true story, but ranklessness, statuslessness, preferencelessness, the unknown, the wandering, the ungraspable, the unplannable, the unfigurable, the unmanageable. Does anyone have anything to say? Maybe some idea or some sharing about what is this true person with no rank? What is this statusless person? What does that look like in your life? What could it look like? Does anyone have something they can share about that? This true person of no rank, true person of no status, true person of no preference.
What I mean, Paul, we use that word as Christian. If you call and it just flow, I mean, who cares about titles? Because I know a lot of people got titles, but they can't fulfill the responsibility. But it's not about that. But you know, you do what you can, what you feel that is in your best interest. You know, it's a gut feeling. It's a spiritual feeling, and you don't need a title for that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Well, what I'm understanding, just a minute, because I'm also in
Yeah,
training.
there's the background noise is a little bit loud.
I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm in training too, but I'm multiple tasking. Um, I feel when you have a degree and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong, but that's just book. And some things that you have to have hands on to create that and humble you to be able to relate effectively with the community or whatever the situation is. So I believe in education, but I also believe in hands-on. You know, if you never suffered before, how can you help anybody? How could you understand what they're going through, the struggle?
So this true person of no rank is really a matter of no longer looking outside to understand your experience, no longer looking to the place, the situation, the hierarchy, the past, the future, any constructs that may come to our mind. This is outside the realm of the person of no rank. Just this. To
Maybe
be
that
in a
per
state that is so like incense, neither good nor bad, just burning, just burning. And when we truly enter into that state in such a complete way, right, a full spectrum way, an absolute way, an ultimate way, then it's this is the insight meditation or the real meditation where it's not just an exercise that we're doing, but we no longer have a rank. We are no longer stuck in the identity version of ourselves. We are no longer stuck in the past experiences self, leading up to now self. We're no longer stuck in the present self leading up to future experiences self. No rank, no status, no coming, no going. And that this true person, this true mind, this freedom mind, this ultimate mind is constantly coming in and going out through all of the sense doors. That there are these constant access points for wake up, wake up, wake up. This is the way that it is. Whether it's the smell of incense, whether it's a sensation in your foot or in your knee while you're practicing meditation, the seeing that's taking place, the hearing that's taking place, whatever it is, the true person of no complicated story is right there.
But I look at that as control because I research. I'm not going to just take one person's word, not unless I'm satisfied, you know? But sometimes it's always that you should research, compare. You may gain more knowledge of understanding. Everybody teach differently, and I don't want to be stuck in control by one person. You have to explore. That don't mean you don't believe in that person. You still seeking more knowledge and understanding.
Let's see
And I
what.
don't like that feeling of being in a box, and if the person is controlling, they say how high, and then I ask how high you want me to jump. No, I seek truth, and I discern what is truth to me by seeking.
Now I will cite some stories for you to consider.
All right.
Zhu Fang called on Tozi and asked, "Is there anyone to call on here?" Tuxi threw down his hoe. Zhu Fang said, "Then I'll dig right where I am." Tuzi said, "Dullard." Even though he said he would dig right where he was still called a dullard. When great elder Nanji met Zhu Fang, their conversation was in complete accord. Zhu Fang sent him to see Xuansha. Xuansha asked, "An ancient said, 'Only I can know this. How do you understand?' Nanji said, 'You should realize there is someone who does not seek to know.' You should realize that there is someone that does not seek to know." Xuansha said, "You are a great elder. Why go to so much trouble? What is the logic of this?" When my late teacher was in the school of Master Bai Duan, the master cited an ancient saying. It is like a mirror casting images. When an image is formed, where has the shine of the mirror gone? At the time, there were a number of students in the group who offered replies, but the master did not accept any of them. In those days, my teacher was working as a fundraiser. When he came back, Baiduan cited the foregoing saying and asked him about it. My teacher approached, offered greetings, and said, "Still not far off." Baiduan clapped and laughed. Everyone thought Baiduan was pressing to make him chief fundraiser. What kind of talk is that? Here, I only require you to study the path. Your first priority, 24 hours a day, should be to get rid of unenlightened egotism towards others. Get rid of unenlightened egotism towards others. Why? Egotism towards others is the business of mediocrities. My late teacher never had any egotism toward others. As his assistant, I saw quite a lot, but I never saw him have a single thought of annoyance. Once, when he was at Huaihui, there was a certain senior monk serving as superintendent of hospitality. When my late teacher sent a great elder to lead the community at Sihai, he had the superintendent of hospitality escort him. The senior spat in my teacher's face and said, "Who are you to tell me to escort him?" He kept on with this vile talk, so my teacher finally gave up. No one knew about this. Later, when my teacher came to Taipang, he nominated that individual to be keeper of the treasury and also made him assembly leader. My teacher himself asked to be made superintendent of the institution, and even nominated the other for abbacy to be abbot there at Taiping. The governor did not approve of this appointment, and the superintendent reviled my teacher, saying he did not support him strongly enough. Now my teacher finally spoke out. "This fellow," he said, "has hollered at me twice." By this, we can see he had no egotism towards others. People now want to understand theoretically at once, as soon as anything is said. How can you learn the way in this fashion? How can we learn the path? How can we deepen our heart-mind? How can we know about the truth if we constantly want to understand theoretically at once? Constantly wanting to have this theoretical understanding. This is not a matter of theory. This is a matter of practice. This is a matter of direct experience. This is a matter of the truth. Your theory is hogwash. Sometimes I see beginners come to interviews helpless to do anything about the fact that I have already seen through them. They are like villagers armed with carrying poles, trying to do battle with a general. Here I am fully equipped. In my hand is the 100-pound sword of a legendary warrior, while they have nothing but a carrying pole. They strike a blow, and, seeing the man not move, they strike several more times and leave. It's not that I fear them, it's because they are no match for me. Ha ha. I urge you not to be crude-minded. In your conduct, day and night, keep evolving higher. Then, even if you do not attain enlightenment, you will still be a highly refined individual. Be very sure to be attentive.
Could you tell me when a person don't know how you find what is true? If you don't seek to understand or compare.
What is truth? Can truth be explained with words and phrases? Can truth be put in a box? Can truth be bought or sold? Is
That's
truth
when
is truth in the realm of me or you? Of I? It's like saying, how can one know God? Through great faith, through great works, through great devotion, through practice, not through thinking. You know, it's one of the strangest things when people have such a are quite passionate about, God, and somehow this sense that God is anything nearby your idea of God. Your idea of God is explicitly not God. How could it be? How limiting would that be? If you were looking for your idea of truth to be truth, or your idea of God to be God, to find that formula. No. So rather than trying to develop this theoretical, conceptual understanding of truth, or God or reality or enlightenment or the ultimate, practice seriously. Ask that question. What is truth? Truth can be a little bit of a loaded word, so we ask more, what is this? What is this, Gloria? And to ask in such a way that's more robust than a temporary appearance or a temporary image. It's the asking, it's the looking, it's the turning itself, rather than the appearances within that turning, within that looking. How deeply can you ask it, right? What is this? What is the truth? And that we don't put that asking out there. We don't put our relationship with God out there. Our relationship with God is in here. That is to wear the armor of the Buddha. That is to wear the chest plate of righteousness, the helmet of faith, to wield the sword of great acts, to hold the shield of devotion. Go ahead, Annie.
Oh, pardon. I was just changing devices.
Oh, all right. Well, do you have
Um,
anything interesting to share?
Speaking on the person of no rank, I it's something that I notice in myself when I am doing acts of service, whether it's especially towards others. Like, for example, this morning, listening along, I was feeding my cat, I was cleaning the kitchen, and when I was deep in this work, I had no rank, towards the cats. I had no rank towards the dishes. I had no rank against anyone else. Or even when walking on the street, there are so many people that you find no real attachment to, like simply holding open a door for another or having it held open for you, I think is an experience of no rank.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I forgive, I relax, I let go of my whole body. So we practice, we use these practice method, these ways of practice, and don't belabor the point. Don't feed this desire we have to want to understand theoretically at once, to immediately understand theoretically. All right, we have a question from Longpi Nguyen on Facebook. They say, I am practicing meditation for about 4 years. However, I feel stuck at something that I think I cannot have any development. How can I improve? Have a little bit of a technical situation here, so give me a moment. And we're back. So if we are having kind of a standstill or a lack of progress in our meditation practice after quite a while, we should try to find a teacher. We should try to find community. We should try to get more involved, right? Because real success in meditation is going to come from certain kind of consistency of practice, right? And to be consistent, we need a lot of supportive causes and conditions. Long Fi Nguyen, it may be helpful if you can describe what you are stuck on, right? What you feel that is stuck or problematic in your current situation with meditation. And getting stuck is a part of progress. You know, having that space and that capacity to realize that we are um, trapped by something or someone or some experience. That recognition, that awareness allows us to detach, to put that thing down, to step back from that activity. So if we can recognize that there is this barrier point, this stopping point, this stress point, this tangled up point, well, then we can untangle the knot. It's also nice to be in this place of not having such a rigid idea of what progress looks like to you. And the more clearly we see that thing, that activity, that person, that situation that is causing us so much stress, it will be easier and easier to know what to leave, to know what to put down, to know what to step back from, to know what to calm down our involvement with, right? Know how to leave. It is essential, it is vital, it is so important that we know how to leave. In a gross way and in a subtle way. Gross and subtle. The subtle way is that if our job and our relationship or our responsibilities are weighing us down and this kind of big burden for us, that we know how to sit down or lay down and rest and let go completely and let go fully and see through the apparent solidity of this social contract that we've got ourselves worked into. Just put it all down, put it all to rest. Let all of it go. Right at that instant, right at that moment of your practice. And we also need to know how to leave, how to abandon things, how to walk away from people, places, situations, environments, jobs, responsibilities. We've got to know how to detach, how to put down, how to give up, how to forgive our involvements. How often are you practicing meditation, Long P? And how do you practice meditation? What method are you using? And what is your experience like when you meditate? So I recommend that you change your meditation approach from Vipassana with Goenka Master Video to Metta, to loving kindness meditation. We practice metta by really setting up a space of loving kindness, loving friendliness for ourselves. So it's not a exercise, it's not a fight, it's not a struggle. We're not trying to delete parts of our experience. But we find a comfortable, stable position for our body to sit down or to lay down. And then we repeat these phrases. And it can seem very simple, maybe simple minded, but actually it's one of the most powerful meditation methods that the Buddha taught to heal suffering and deal with this stressed out, complicated mind. So you said you're practicing 2 times in the morning and before going to sleep, about 30 minutes. I recommend you switch, that you abandon for now the Vipassana with Goenka video. Find that comfortable, stable position, your meditation position. And then for those 30 minutes, repeat phrases like this. May I be well, happy, and at peace. May I be well, happy, and at peace. May I be well, happy, and at peace. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. May this body and mind be at peace. May this body and mind be at peace. So you can practice this meditation method, metta, instead of the Goenka Vipassana meditation method. So we switch our meditation method, we change it. And you can repeat these words in English or in Vietnamese, it's up to you. You can say it verbally, or you can just say it in your mind. But when you say it, it is a expression, it is a practice of sincerity, authenticity. It's like a mother holding their baby child, their beautiful baby, and they say, "May you be safe. May you be free from all suffering. May you be peaceful." And we practice metta like that. That's how we practice this loving kindness meditation. And we repeat again, may I be safe, exactly. May I be peaceful. May I rest. May I feel loved. And this is the prescription of the Buddha. And I, as a representative of the Buddha Sangha, am giving you this prescription that you can take as much of as you like, but certainly switching your Vipassana meditation to the metta meditation in the morning and evening, okay? That should help. All right, anyone here on Discord have a question or something they like to share? And James, I recommend using Google and search for Plum Village Sangha near me. And anytime Long Pi Nguyen that you are stressed or start to feel that strong feeling, strong negative feeling, you can stop what you're doing, you can find your breath, and you can practice metta meditation and really feed and deepen that heart and mind of loving kindness towards this body and mind. Okay? May I be free from all suffering. May I truly be at peace. So, Long Pi Nguyen. I have been to Vietnam 2 or 3 times, and I hope to be invited to go there again. I'm not sure when it will be, and I would also like to live longer term in Vietnam at a certain point. But right now I don't have any solid plans to travel until I think it's August, when I will go to India, go to Bodh Gaya for the Rains Retreat later this year with my teacher. I have to see when the specific times for that are. (7:20 to 10:17). I'll plan to be in Bodh Gaya, India. Okay, we'll read one more excerpt, one more teaching from this book, Instant Zen, Waking Up in the Present. That will end our session for this morning. Approval. As soon as you accept and approve anything, recognizing it as your own, you are immediately bound hand and foot and cannot move. So even if there are 1,000 possibilities, nothing is right once you have recognized, accepted, and approved it as your own. It is like making a boat and outfitting it for a long journey to a land of treasures. Then, as soon as you get started, you drive a stake in the ground and tie the boat down, then row with all your might. You may row till the end of time, but you will still be at the shore. You see the boat moving from side to side and think you are on the move, but actually you haven't gotten anywhere. Not me, not mine, not this body, not this mind. It is also like someone turning a millstone, going round and round in circles from morning till night. What a laugh! If someone whose eyes are unclear saw you fixated on recognition and told you it was right, he'd be seen through by someone with clear eyes. On examination, there would be quite a few loose ends. These days, quite a few just employ this path of right now, totally unable to get out of the immediate present. Nailed down in this way, They try to study Zen without getting the essential point. Once they have taken it up, they have already misunderstood, acting as if they were in charge. They do not realize Buddhism is not understood in this way. Know someone. Know something. Know some place or time, not even, especially not the present place, the present time, the present someone. Have you not read how Ma Gu met Zhang Jing, staff in hand? Ma Gu shook the staff once and stood there serenely. Zhang Jing said yes. He also met Nan Quan the same way, and Nan Quan said no. Ma Gu said, Zhang Jing said yes, how can you say no? Nan Quan said, Zhang Jing is right, but you are wrong. This is vulnerable to outside influences and ultimately disintegrates. Only then did Ma Gu see his error. Look, people, if you are about to misunderstand your whole life, how can you not go to someone to find certainty? When I first went on my journey, I read verses by my teacher and immediately believed this man spoke like the ancient sages and must have genuine realization. So I studied with him for 10 years. One of those verses said, to learn the way, first you must find out the ultimate point. Hearing sound and seeing form are inconceivable. If you discuss high and low based on words, it is just like before you were enlightened. Another verse said, there is a road to emptiness. Everyone arrives. Those who arrive then realize the excellence of the aim. The mind ground does not grow useless plants and trees. Naturally, the body spontaneously radiates clear light. When I was young, even though I had not attained the way, in my heart I knew these were extraordinary lines. But how about hearing sound and seeing form? They are both conceivable. How can they be inconceivable? Then when he talks about realization, he turns around and says, it is just like before you were enlightened. Everything before enlightenment is conceivable. How can you see a realization? This man attained non-attainment. Only when you reach the ultimate stage can you be like this. Only after 10 years did I actually understand him. Generally speaking, when you go journeying to learn the path to enlightenment, you seek. Do not sit ignorantly, but go to someone to find out the truth with certainty. When this truth is hard to realize, that is called unfinished business. Have you not heard it said that once you realize, then there's a difference? Yesterday one had breakfast and dinner. Today one has breakfast and dinner. Is it the same as before? There is a difference. It is not the same. Joshu said to someone, have you had breakfast yet? He said, yes. Joshu said, go wash the dishes. This is different. Do you suppose I am an ordinary man? You tell me where the difference is. So this is Instant Zen, Waking Up in the Present, translated by Thomas Cleary. The writings, the teachings of ancient Chinese Zen master Foyan. Let's conclude our gathering together with a lighting of the incense. And we can sit together for a few moments. Appreciating the wisdom and compassion of dear Zen Master Foyan. Listen to 3 sounds of the bell to begin and 3 sounds of the bell to end our meditation together. not me, not mine, not this body, not even this mind. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Sangha, thank you all for joining me this morning in our meditation mind. Hope that you all will be well, happy, and peaceful in your life. And I look forward to practicing again with you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhante.